What is up, cupcakes? It's your boy Paperback Dan, and I'm here doing things a little different with the Baja Benabler himself. Say hello to Benji.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, internet friends?
So yeah, it's fun. Got some crossover action going on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's cool. So I mean, we're gonna talk about our pull list.
Mm.
I have a bunch of shit.
So
What's your
do I.
situation? Nice. So we'll try to keep this short and to the point. There's a lot of stuff to cover. It was a pretty big week for me.
Yeah, it's not a bad. It's decent size for me too. I don't have any DC books. Do you have any? Did you buy any DC books this week?
So I have two DC books, but I didn't read either of them. I'm not caught up yet. I was waiting for a while.
Okay.
So the first one is Deathstroke Number 6.
But I only read issue 1 of that book, and I think that's one of the best DC book out there. And of course, Joshua Williamson does a great job writing. I think this might be the best writer in DC right now.
Yeah, I say Connor thinks so. Also, if we did Cupcake Awards for like the year end last year, Joshua Williamson would have been his writer of the year. So it's pretty high praise, especially considering.
I'm just gonna pick with Tom Taylor.
Oh well, yeah, no, of course. The other DC book that I got is Action Comics 1040. Got this huge War World arc going on for Superman. I've heard nothing but good things, but I'm not caught up yet. I was waiting for you to send me Superman and the Authority issue 2. It's been a little while. I have it now. I just haven't had the time to. Now I'm like 10 issues deep that I have to read to get caught up. So
I hear it's one of the best, most underrated DC book out there. And once it like into whatever, I mean, trip it back for you, probably for me too. When that comes out, probably gonna try to pick it up.
So I'm sure I'll double dip and grab that as well.
It's really fortunate how underappreciated Superman has become in DC Comics over the last few years, huh?
Well, yeah, when you have someone like Bendis like ruining it all together for most people, it's not going to work out very well.
The problem is Bendis, once upon a time, was a really good writer. And when he came to DC, the Naomi miniseries actually is quite good.
See, I think the problem is Bendis can still be good. It's just that he needs to be put on something that's like suited to him.
And I think that DC needs a better editorial staff to keep him under control.
True. I mean, I do kind of like where DC is at right now in a lot of ways, but I definitely think that they probably still need a little help.
All right, so we're done with DC. That was quick.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm not Lohit or Connor, who like usually pulls like at least 3 or 4 books, and I didn't read either of mine, so there wasn't a lot to discuss. But I am excited to get to it. So let's start with Marvel. You can go ahead first. What'd you get?
This is a book that you I think you're gonna start reading soon. It's the 5th issue of Dark Age by Tom Taylor.
I have that too.
And I don't want to go to spoil territory. It's fun. It's Tom Taylor. It's Elseworld. Really?
Right.
See, again, you haven't read it, so I really don't want to get too much into it. Wait, do you get the basic premise of the story?
Yeah, I mean, generally. So you can still touch on it. I'm not too worried about it, but unfortunately, I'm disappointed with myself for not getting caught up yet. I told myself that I would for this issue, and I forgot it was coming out this week.
Oh, don't worry. There's only one more issue left. This is, so you might as well get the issue 6 and just read it all together and get the full story.
Right.
The basic premise: there's no electricity on Earth, and the people are trying to get by. And now, Apocalypse took over Europe, while the rest of the world, your normal Marvel superheroes, are in North America, and you have little factions stuff in there. Now, Apocalypse is trying to destroy the world, your typical Apocalypse,
of course,
and the heroes try to stop him. So we're heading to a big confrontation between Apocalypse and his army and our heroes. And actually, this is very interesting. The cover, this cover right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this character is actually both the Carnage and Venom symbiote merging to one creature.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, do you know who this guy is?
I don't think so. No.
Wait until you find out who this guy is.
Okay. I'm trying to I'm looking at my cover to see if I can figure it out. Now I'm really curious. Okay.
When do you see it?
So what other Marvel books do you get?
All right. So my other book is Silver Surfer Rebirth number 2.
Aha. I also got that.
All right. Here's the thing. I love this book, okay? Because it reads like a 90s Silver Surfer book. And I've actually read a lot of 90s Silver Surfer books, especially the team of Ron Mars and Ron Lim. So the last panel has a silhouette of who the villain behind everything is. And as someone who's read it, a lot of those, I figured out immediately. And it's actually a villain that Marvel has not used very often. I don't think it has used at all since the 90s in Silver Surfer.
Wow. So I'm someone who hasn't read a lot of 90s Silver Surfer, so I didn't know who it is. So it's
Did you read it?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I'm caught up on it. I actually really enjoyed this issue. I thoroughly enjoyed the interaction between Thanos and Silver Surfer when they're walking around on his farm. I thought that was really cool, and I'm super excited to see where the book goes.
So I'm gonna drop a hint. Now there's in the 90s there was a miniseries called Cosmic Powers, okay? And it's the same team. I think it's written by Ron Mars too. I know that Ron Lim did the art for it. And the main villain in that story is one of the villains in that story is the character, the silhouette character in this one. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I'm curious because there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Realities being changed, and Thanos and Silver Surfer are teaming up. So it's insane. But I'm really digging it so far. I think the art's awesome. And as someone who hasn't read a lot of Silver Surfer stuff, this is making a really good impression on me.
Have you read Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, any of that stuff?
I've wanted to ever since I was a kid, but yeah, I haven't gotten around to it.
But yeah, if you're writing a lot of that, I mean, they actually chronic a lot of that stuff with Thanos talking about the Infinity Watch, where Warlock divided up the Infinity Gems after Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, that and him referencing that made me want to read it more because I'm really curious why he was okay with still leaving the Reality Stone with Thanos. I feel like that's still dangerous, even leaving him with one.
Well, it's actually what's the best way? You've seen Infinity War, right?
Mm-hmm.
The scene when just before Thanos sacrifices Gamora,
mm-hmm.
when she's talking about you're not worthy, and that's the thing. I think Warlock's thing says Thanos, you're not worthy. That's why I gave you this powerful weapon. You're really not going to screw up the world with it, or the reality of the universe with it.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to go back and read it because I'm really curious.
And then, so now, my next book, Ghost Rider #1. Did you get one?
I also got Ghost Rider #1, and I read this one too. Silver Surfer and Ghost Rider were the only two Marvel books that I actually had read.
Okay.
This week.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I was a little confused though. I haven't read a ton of Ghost Rider. I recently started trying to find some of his runs, and I thought it was good, but I was very confused. Which cover did you get?
I think this is cover 8. They're
oh, okay, yeah. I got this one that has all the different incarnations of Ghost Rider.
Oh, it's a gatefold cover too. I mean, the wrapper.
Yeah. So I think it's really cool. It honestly might actually be my cover of the week for that reason. I was gonna get the A cover, and then I saw this one, and I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. I need to pick it up.
Well, the only reason I bought this one because when I was in Midtown yesterday, I was gonna get a Scotty Young cover because it looks, cute, most Scotty Young baby covers are. But they only have 5 copies of cover 8 left and stacks of all the other variant covers. So I was like, that's the best seller. So the spectator in me says you should get this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do like the wrapper on cover you have. I think this is. Have you read any Benjamin Percy's X-Men stuff, mutant stuff, Wolverine?
I haven't. I know. I forget which run I wanted to read. The Low-Heat mentioned it a while back, and I wanted to get it, and I never did. But I don't think I've read anything from Benjamin Percy, to be honest. Or if I did, I'm unaware.
I mean, his early Wolverines are okay. Then his other stuff is very average. But I think this is his best work for Marvel so far. He does read like a horror comic, and there's a lot of grotesque scenes. And you're
Yeah.
right. I was a little confused too because I actually bought the full run of the last Ghost Rider series, and does not does not start where that ended. Um,
Okay, so it's like
so
starting
yeah,
with a clean
I don't know where
slate.
they're going with this because um, the the last Ghost Rider series, he was still the king of hell. He still. You read Doctor Strange Damnation, right?
I didn't actually know. It's funny because one of my friends actually sent me a Comics Explained link to the Damnation story this morning, and I avoided the video because I wanted to read the book.
Yeah. That's the thing is whatever happens in that story leads into the last Ghost Rider story series, but does not lead into this. So when I start reading this, I'm like, okay, Johnny Blaze is having hallucinations. He has to take drugs, and his wife and kids are back, which is something he lost them long, long time ago, back in the '90s. So I was like, okay, someone's messing with his head. But I'm just surprised they actually. I'm sure they'll explain it, maybe a couple issues down the line. Um, but so far, I think it's a good read, and
Yeah,
hopefully, Benjamin Percy will explain what happened, between the last series to this series.
right. I mean, and I think as a number one, it really does work as a jumping on point, like a good one, because like I said, I haven't read too much Ghost Rider material before, and I didn't really feel lost reading this. So definitely good jumping on point. I'm gonna get issue two.
Me too. Usually, when his books are $6, I'm a little hesitant about spending it.
Yeah.
I heard good things. I read it. I'm totally satisfied with the series so far. Issue one. It's a good
Was
pickup.
this one $6? Damn. Oh, look at that. I want honestly, it feels kind of thick though. I wonder if it was like double
That's probably why.
size or
Yeah, I think it's 48 pages.
hmm. I was wondering why I felt like a long read, but that makes sense.
All right. So my next two Marvel books I have not read yet. Do you have any other Marvel books that you read?
No, that was it. I got one Marvel book left and I didn't read it.
What do you got?
I got the Carnage Forever one shot.
Oh yeah, I'll get that eventually.
I wasn't going to get it, but when the guy at my shop told me it was only a one shot and they already had it in my box for me, I was just like, okay, screw it, I'll get it.
So easily to convince you to buy a
Yeah,
new book.
it doesn't take much. Doesn't take much.
All right. So next book is a cover buy for me is Electro. Was it white, black, white, and blood? Because this awesome Adam Hughes cover. So when I saw this a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I got to buy for the cover. And sometimes when you have to buy for the cover, you buy for the cover. It's a lovely cover. I'm going to read it because these are all anthologies. So they're going to be like three short stories in here. You don't really need to know too much. If you know,
Right.
sure you should be fine. And then my next buy is Strange Academy, which I am quite behind on, but I'm trying to buy the entire series, and I'll read this one as soon as I catch up.
Is Scotty Young still writing it?
He's writing the whole series. Yeah, it's coming to an end. I think one more issue left, and the series is over.
Okay.
Like the room, and of course, Roberto Ramos does a great job on the art, interior art. So it's a good team.
I feel like a lot of people aren't huge fans of his, but I kind of like his work, generally speaking.
Oh, me too.
But yeah,
so I mean, when I read so far, it's actually a very good series. I was surprised. I was like, oh, it's about a bunch of magic kids. And it's like probably like some sort of Harry Potter ripoff, whatever. But it has a lot of heart.
right. I know that Cupcake Neil really enjoyed it when he was reading it for a while. So I've heard good things from more than one person. So you emphasizing that as well makes me want to check it out because I wouldn't have had any interest in it otherwise, honestly.
I agree with you. Originally, when I saw, Scotty Young as a writer. Now, this is before I heard of I Hate Fairy Tale Land, Midwest, Middle West. Yeah, I didn't realize he was actually a writer. I thought he was just a guy that draws all the Q baby covers.
Yeah.
But the man knows how to write, and I'm impressed. And this is a good series so far. I think I actually bought his last series for Image. the You Love Me in the Dark, whatever. That was good too.
Oh, he wrote that? I didn't know that. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
All right, so that's my Marvel. What do you got? What's next for you?
So I'm done with Marvel also. So I guess we'll move on to Image.
Okay, I got 3 books from Image.
I only have 2 actually, and I think
we have the same too.
I was gonna say, I think I have the same 2 as you. I don't know what your third is. So let's start with that.
Let's talk the one that you didn't get. So I'm talking about Department of Truth number 16, by James Tynion the fourth. You've seen this cover, right? It's very trippy. So the entire issue is just Lee Harvey Oswald in bed smoking LSD with the red woman.
What the
talk
hell?
about America. Basically, are you familiar with the Project MK Ultra? Conspiracy behind it.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know what the actual conspiracy is.
All right, so I think it's actually proven to be real. Back in the late 60s and I think even to the early 70s, the CIA actually conducted telepathic experiment by having people unwillingly use LSD, see if they can enhance their telepathic powers.
What?
So basically, Lee Harvey Oswald isn't, he's talking about, I'm not sure I'm really seeing this thing, whereas I might be putting this project and I'm smoking LSD right now. So he's even talking about how America is at that time. And Robert Kennedy just got killed. And he's talking about all the assassinations that's occurred in the United States to important people like JFK, like Martin Luther King Jr., like, Malcolm X, RFK, stuff like that. It's like some people, talking about how people who are rocking the boat, doesn't really stick around for too long.
Okay, I mean, makes sense.
The way the art is done is really psychedelic, and it feels like you should be smoking something before you start reading this. But don't worry, when you read it sober, it still does make sense.
I guess that's what counts.
Yeah. Did you read the first series, the first trade?
I actually haven't gotten to read any of it. I know that it was one of our book club books, and I wasn't able to get around to it then, and I haven't picked up on it since.
If you get the time, it is very wordy. That's one thing. It's the most wordy James Tynion. Well, Nice House on the Lake can get really wordy too, but usually it's not this wordy, especially when it comes to reading his what do you call it? What's the book he does? Something Killing Children. Not wordy at all. A lot of action. But
yeah, I did enjoy that one. I read the first 5 or 6 issues or something. I like that one a lot.
So that is the one book image book I have that you did not. Now we'll go to the one that you did get. So what'd you get? Which one are we picking first?
We're gonna start with Step by Bloody Step.
All right, Step by Bloody Step. I got that too.
Oh, you got the other cover. Nice.
Right. Actually, I like that cover B.
I was gonna say I really dug this one. The one that my shop pulled for me was the A cover, but I went back and swapped them because I don't know, I just preferred that one. But what'd you think? I liked it. I didn't think that I would, because I don't like the idea of a comic book that doesn't have words. Doesn't really appeal to me too much. But what'd you think?
There were words. There were alien word
hieroglyphics.
I think it takes a lot of talent. In this case, it's Siberia, right? That's the writer. To be able to tell a story, like a comic book story, without any word bubbles. And I think he managed to do that. And it's very impressive. Now, I was hype about this book for weeks, and you know that.
Yeah, I was excited too.
Yeah. And when I read this book, and I really had to do a double take, I was like, man, the art is really good. It does fit the storyline very well. And then I was like, I got the full concept of the story, and I really, without actually reading a single word. And I think it's impressive.
Yeah. No, I say I'm very impressed. And sometimes I'll have a harder time following art. So I use the words to kind of fill in that context that I might be like overlooking.
Right.
And I didn't feel like I was missing a whole lot, you know, when I was going through this. And like you said, the art was really good. A lot of it was very like distinct.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll definitely be getting issue 2. Do you know if this is like a full-blown ongoing or if it's just a mini series?
I think it's 5 or 6 issue miniseries.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I'll double check later. Another thing, we're going to go to spoiler territory here, so people you want to fast forward, you can. You finished reading, of course you did. Do you think that the lady in the armor is the little girl's mother?
That's a good question. I could see that's the one part where it not having words kind of threw me for a loop. Because I wasn't sure what to make of that. I don't know who it's supposed to be. Like there is some sort of resemblance. Like obviously she had like all this like grass sticking out of her face, for lack of a better term.
Same like black hair and maybe like even similar eyes, right?
Mm.
And then
yeah, I don't know.
And she seems to be very protective, even overly protective. The little girl, like when the family's offering her what soup or porridge, whatever, and you know the lady in the armor stops them. So that I was like, well, that seems like a very motherly thing to do. Be very protective of one's child, even go to the extreme levels. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's that's a good point. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I saw the resemblance, but I don't know. Anyway, spoiler part over.
Yeah, sorry guys. We'll try to cut the spoiler as much as I can. And then, of course, next book is the one we both bought. Is it this one?
Oh yeah,
Supermassive by Kyle Higgins and a bunch of other people.
Yep, Ryan Parrott, Matt Groom.
It's a key. It's a key issue. First appearance of Rogue Sun. First appearance of Ignition Girl Red. Is that her name?
Inferno Girl Red.
Inferno Girl Red. Yeah.
What'd you think? Because I don't know what your thoughts on like Radiant Black and stuff in general is. So.
I really like. I've been buying every issue of Radiant Black and I like it a lot. But I have never read Kyle Higgins' Power Ranger books, right? And actually, if you're reading, I've seen the TV show over the years.
Of course.
When I read Radiant Black, it feels similar to Power Ranger-ish, but this is like a full-blown Power Ranger comic. That's how I felt.
It definitely like it feels like it's part of like the tokusatsu genre.
Yeah.
Especially no spoilers this time, but there's one part where it's like, holy shit, like this is a Power Rangers book right here. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I might be biased, but I'm calling it my pick of the week.
Wow.
I think the reason that what sent it over the top for me was not necessarily the writing, even though there was nothing wrong with it. It was the art. I want to say it's Igor Monte's coloring specifically in this book that really like wowed me when it came to the art. There were certain pages where I was just like blown away by the visuals, even if I couldn't make out what was going on. But it's awesome. Totally
it is
awesome stuff.
And I think one thing that's really cool about this issue is the gatefold where the
and this isn't a spoiler.
That's not really a spoiler, but
I thought that was awesome.
Really cool. Yeah.
At first, I thought my pages were stuck together when I was flipping through it. I'm like, why is this? What's going on here? And then I was like, oh my God, is this like a fold-out poster?
Yeah. I thought when I saw that, I was like, wow, that is super, super cool. And I'm glad they did it, which makes it, I don't think I haven't seen a comic series does that for a long time.
You never see that.
I think that's really cool. And I think it's my number 2 pick of the week. And I think I'm just, just because how unique Step by Blade Step is, I think I'm going with that as my pick of the week.
I mean, that's not a bad choice, honestly. Yeah. So, do you have? I have other indie stuff. Do you have anything?
I have one.
What you got?
So I have House of Slaughter number 5.
I should have known.
House of Slaughter number 5. Okay. The storyline, the Aaron Slaughter story is over. This is the last issue. It's actually going on hiatus. It won't be back until May because Something Killing Children is coming back next month. This is good, man. I mean, I have to say, the first 3 issues of this story series, I was not impressed. I was like, yeah, it's kind of just there. But the last 2 issues, when we go into heavy into the whole rivaling, well, we read Something Killing Children. You know, there's a House of Slaughter, right? The school that trained Erica to hunt monsters. But there are other monster hunter houses, and apparently they have rivalries with other monster hunter houses. And so basically, you're talking about this guy, right? His name is Jace Butcher. He's from the House of Butcher, and his entire family supposedly were killed by the House of Slaughter. So he comes to infiltrate the House of Slaughter to kill the older dragon.
Interesting.
Right. And then this is Aaron Slaughter. You'll see if you read further on to Something Killing Jordan, he shows up. He's actually Erica's training partner. And when they were in House of Slaughter together, they developed like a romantic relationship. So the day that Jace set the trap for the House of Slaughter is that he unleashed all the monsters that his parents collected over the years, and tried to use the monster to kill every member of the House of Slaughter. And this is the big battle between member of all the monsters and the House of Slaughter, and then the fallout between these two. And that's it. It's a lot of action, and it's not very wordy, unlike the other Tinian book right there.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
initially the first 3 issues, I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Last issues pick it up, and it's really good. Coming in May, starts again issue 6 with a new character from the House of Slaughter. Yeah, I mean, originally I wasn't even going to pick up. I thought this was over. Okay, I thought this is the 5-issue miniseries. This is over and done. Something Killing Children 21 is coming out next month, and that's it. But Tiny is going to do extra duties, and okay, I'll check out number 6.
Nice. I'll have to put that on my radar because, like I said, I haven't been reading it, but I read Something is Killing the Children, and I like what I've read so far. I like it enough to find out more about like the lore and the history and stuff. So that book sounds like it might be for me.
This is the one for you to read. Is a lot of the the backstory of the house, how different hunters are trained in different ways, and what they're solo hunters, they're team hunters, and et cetera, like that.
Nice. Okay. Well, I have 3 books left. You said that was your last one, yeah?
Yeah, that's one for me. I'm done.
So, because of my recent video and our new friends over at Advent Comics, I bought this. It's called Chamber of Terror number 1. It was on the shelf this week when I went, and I was like, you know what? I see an Advent comic book. I just interviewed the guy the other day. It felt like a sign that I should pick it up. I don't even know if this book is for me. It came in the bag and board, like already taped up, which isn't normal. Makes me think that it might be like an adults only book. But I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. But I have no idea what it's about. I'll read it and get back to you.
All right.
Also, I didn't read this one yet, but Joy Operations, number 4 of 5 from Dark Horse. We were talking about Bendis a little earlier. He's writing this. It's okay. I don't love it, but I like it enough to continue it. There's only 1 more issue. Okay. I didn't read 3 yet, but I'd probably recommend the trade once it's all like finished, see where it goes.
Yep.
The last book that I got is We Ride Titans number 2 from Vault.
Okay.
I liked this issue. The first issue, when I reviewed it, it didn't do a whole lot for me because I was expecting like a Pacific Rim style book.
Okay, Kaiju Battle.
Yeah, because that's generally the premise is like these people pilot these, I think they're called Titans in this, and they fight kaiju, protect the city, etc. So I was expecting that from issue 1, and there was like no action whatsoever besides like the first page or 2, which was just a setup for something else anyway. So I was a little underwhelmed, but I liked it enough to see where it was going. This issue was a lot better. So this girl is taking over for her brother, who is the pilot of the Nexus, which is the name of their Titan. Apparently, it's like a generational thing. Like her family is like a really famous kaiju fighting family, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And so like it's essentially like her time to like take on the mantle essentially while her brother is out of action. And there's some interesting developments in this. Still not a whole ton of fighting, but now I'm very curious where it goes because things kind of have taken a turn. I like it. There's like a family dynamic that I don't love, but like I don't know, it's different for me because I didn't grow up in like a problematic home, but like this girl does not have a very good relationship with her dad. Right. And I think it's funny because her dad looks like if The Rock's character in Fast and the Furious was paraplegic, because he's in a wheelchair and he looks just like The Rock, and the character's name is Dwayne Hobbs. And it's like, all right, it's a little too like on the nose here. Come on. Right. But yeah, We Ride Titans was good. I was looking at the solicits. I was looking at the solicits earlier, and I think it's only going to be 5 issues. So not a huge commitment. I like where it's going. I'm very curious. So I give that one a thumbs up, and I'm going to get issue 3.
Speaking of new comics, so we were talking about Supermassive came out this week. Rogue Sun #1 comes out next week. Are you going to get it?
Oh, absolutely. It's already on my list.
Okay.
And Radiant Red is supposed to... Say that again?
It's not written by Kyle Higgins, though.
It's going to be Ryan Parrott writing it, who is the same guy that took over Power Rangers after Kyle Higgins left.
Oh, okay.
So they're like buddies and stuff. They're going to take over, I don't know, their own new Image universe. I think they're calling it the Massive Verse. But yeah, so I am excited for that. And I know that Radiant Red is also around the corner. I'm not sure who's writing that one, but it's not Kyle Higgins. It's a 5 or 6 issue mini as well that's tied to that universe, obviously. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So
anything else next week that you think of getting?
Ooh, next week, I looked and now I'm drawing a blank, but I think next week is a lighter week for me.
Well, for #1s, I don't really read much DC. For Marvel, there's the What If Miles Morales Becomes Captain America mini series that's coming out next week. It's pretty good. The new Doctor Strange series, whoever is the new Sorcerer Supreme is, because Doctor Strange is dead.
Right.
That's out next week. I think that's the 2 major #1s. Are you picking up either one?
I don't think I'm going to get either of those, although the Miles Morales one does kind of have me curious. I don't mind like a what if story. I think those can be kind of fun, especially because like the whole series is going to be about him taking on other superhero roles, right?
Yeah.
I saw, I think it was the Ghost Rider book. I saw pages of him like he's going to be Wolverine in one of the issues, and there was another one I saw where he's like the Hulk or something. It might be the Amadeus Cho one and not like Bruce Banner's Hulk, but
sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, that might be something to check out. Like I said, what if stories can be fun.
Well, then we'll be talking about next week, because I'm picking that Miles Morales up, and I'll let you know how it is.
Okay.
I'm like you. I am passing on that Strange one because it doesn't really interest me as much.
Yeah, I've never really found a whole lot of fascination with Doctor Strange as a character. The movies have kind of changed my perception on that a little bit. But like magic was never something I was big on as a kid.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so that's all we got.
Do you not like Harry
Potter? So that's a weird story. We're not going to get into it. I have seen Harry Potter.
Okay.
But
you're not Craig.
It was no. I don't have 5 box sets of the books. I actually don't even own the books. I used to, and I think my parents got rid of them or something. I don't know. But yeah, so with that said, we're going to wrap this up. Let us know what you picked up this week. Let us know what you think we should have picked up this week that we didn't. Tell us your pick of the week, all that stuff. Let us know.
What's your favorite cover? There's a lot.
Yeah, tell Tell us your
Well,
favorite
we know
cover.
what my favorite cover is. That's why I bought this book without even reading it. This is Electra, Black Red,
That's right.
Black. You
Yep.
can't go over that in shoes.
When you buy a book for the cover, that I definitely feel like that's a giveaway for cover of the week. But yeah, hey, I mean, it's a cool one. So I hope if you do read it that you enjoy it. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up. Make
That's
sure
right.
to follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Descriptions in the what do you call it? Everything's on description box,
Yeah,
whatever.
say I'll put it all in the
Follow us on
description.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We don't have TikTok, right?
No, we do not have TikTok.
Dan
Maybe
will
one day.
Dan will dance in his underwear on TikTok. TikTok, we follow us.
I'm not making that promise. Maybe we could talk Lewis into it.
What? That's got to be behind a paywall, buddy.
Fair enough.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend. Dan
Yeah.
and I will be back next week, and then you get Connor back and with his Spider-Man rant 2 weeks after that, hopefully.
Yeah. Connor's unavailable again next week. Lohit's been busy with his move, so the two of us will be back here this time next week, and I'm looking forward to it. So,
right.
With that said, Benji, I'll see you later, buddy.
Peace.
Peace out.